guys, welcome back to another episode of Sold Out. And on today's channel, this is the second Puma sneaker that we will be reviewing on this channel. The first one was the Mellow Ball, the Puma MB1, whatever you want to call it. So let's jump right into it and see if this sneaker can compare to that sneaker. Okay, now, as we always do, we all work our way from the top down to the bottom. We will start with heel lockdown. Heel lockdown in these, I had no issues whatsoever. Felt amazing on foot, no slips, no heel slip at all. Now, heel slip in comfort, the padding wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. It felt good on foot. It did the right job. It did what it was supposed to do. I had no issues with the padding on the back half of the shoe. To the tongue, had no issues with the tongue at all. I wish it would have been ported out. As you guys know, I love a ported tongue, but it is like a little bit heavy duty mesh on that tongue. Pretty decent padding, nothing crazy, but it felt great on foot. No issues with the tongue there. Now down into the laces. The laces are the normal laces, oval laces. You're gonna get, you know, kind of the cheap laces, some will call them. Being under that $150 price point, that's just what it is. I had no issues with the laces, but these laces will eventually fray if you play outdoors, even indoors after time, but no issue to spend a couple bucks and get you some new laces. Now, down onto material. Materials felt very, I would say, cheap. It kind of resembles the Mellow Ball. It's almost like a low budget Mellow Ball shoe when it comes to materials. The heel counter on the back's nice. It kind of starts early though. It starts here and wraps around. Very hard plastic. This right here is for support as well, but it looks like screen mesh, very fine screen mesh, and then a thicker jersey material underneath that in the back half of the shoe. And on the upper area, it has the same mesh, thicker mesh as the tongue had. And as we work our way down to the forefoot of the shoe, that same mesh kind of sticks up into the toe box area. And then there's some very cheap suede in this area. I would not recommend playing with this outdoors. I think this would get torn up, chewed up pretty fast. Overall, the materials, they look solid, but they felt cheap on foot. Like you could kind of feel, it's so light. This sneaker is so light. Matter of fact, let me weigh the shoe real quick and I can tell you guys how light this shoe is. I know it's lighter than the Mellows. 12.9. So, I mean, not too crazy, but it feels super light on foot when you get it on foot. It almost feels cheap. So as far as materials, I think they kind of cheaped out on this. I would have liked to see this sneaker in like the $100 price point instead of the $120 price point range. So as far as the materials go, guys, the materials do feel a little bit cheap. They do feel very comfortable on foot, however. So take it how you want. Take that with a grain of salt. As for the materials, I wouldn't go play with this outside. 120 bucks. There's a lot of other shoes you could choose from to go hoop outside in, and this would not be one of them. You're gonna get a lot of creasing in this area with the suede area. I think the shoe will break down fast because of the cheap suede right here. But all in all, if you're playing indoors, you could definitely probably get a hoop season out of it. Now down into support and lockdown. Support and lockdown felt great. I felt no issues whatsoever on either side of the shoe. I wish this right here would have came up a little bit more. They could have added this, implemented this into the side more, the plastic piece, or maybe even over here on the Puma logo. But I mean, all in all, support and lockdown was great with the sneaker. I had no issues whatsoever. Now the cushioning, they call it trinomic cushioning. And I'll put up a picture of what it used to look like. I'm not sure that if this is their new version of it, but there's a very soft foam down here on the bottom. And it doesn't feel like foam. It almost feels like it's hard to describe. It's like a plasticky foam, but it feels really soft, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, it feels really good. I had no issues with the cushion on this. The insole on this, I think, is kind of what made it more comfortable than even like the cushioning setup, the trinomic cushioning setup, they call it. The insole on this was pretty thick, felt great on foot. So for cushion, no issues with the cushion. Shoe felt great. Now down onto my favorite part about the sneaker, the traction. I absolutely love the traction. It is pretty wicked. You guys will see in the B-roll, the pattern, it's like a tricked out herringbone. It is all over the place, up and down. You can see where they switch angles and it performed phenomenal on the court. I absolutely love the traction of this Puma Blaze Court. It was dope. It stuck like glue. It picked up dust. Like I walked over the carpet in the gym and it picked up a little dust off that. I wiped it once and I never had to wipe it again for the next 2 hours. So when it comes to traction on this sneaker, I love the traction on the sneaker and I think it's even better than the MB1. Yes, I said it. I think it's better than the MB1 from Puma, but I will do a comparison video on these guys here in the next coming days. So stay tuned for that, and you guys can kind of see what I liked and disliked about each sneaker, kind of comparing them both. Now on to what I recommend the sneaker. Absolutely, yes, I would recommend this sneaker. I've seen a couple people say it's Kobe-ish. I disagree with that. I don't feel like this felt like Kobe-ish at all, just due to the cheaper materials used to make this shoe. Like, the shoe feels great when you have it in hand, but when you get it on foot, you can kind of feel it. You know, when you're kind of put your foot in a sneaker and you're like, it feels a little bit cheap. And not just because it's lightweight, because you can get a Kobe that feels very sturdy, very nice, but it's lightweight. So I don't think that's the issue. I just think it's a little bit, maybe of the materials they used. I don't know, like this suede up front on this toe cap is super cheap. If you do toe drags, you are shredding this. And guys, I know this color probably might look blaze orange on camera, but it's not. It's more like a hunter vest orange. So I don't know, I seen a few videos where the shoe looked a little darker than it was, and then I got it and I was like, whoa, definitely like glows in the daytime. So, but yes, I would recommend this to anyone in the high school scene, college scene, all the way up to, you know, I'm sure even you'll see a couple NBA players maybe playing with this year. I'm not sure, you might see them in the MB1 or MB2s that are coming. We will see. But yeah, guys, so quick rundown, great traction, cheap materials, great comfort. So I'll let you guys be the judge. True to size, so no issues with the fit. It absolutely fit amazing, felt great on foot, conformed to my foot pretty good, but you still just kind of got that little bit cheap feel, and that was my only really gripe with the shoe. Other than that, I think it'll be amazing if you get this colorway. I do want to warn you, if you wear black socks, you will get some rubbing back here, and it will start fading. Black will start fading into this material, and it says something on the box. It says some color migration can occur due to the nature of materials. I don't know if that's telling us the shit's just cheap as hell, or hey, it might bleed just because this peach area on the back of the shoe, that's just what it does. So guys, this has been my rundown of the PUMA TRC Blaze Court, and we will catch you on the next episode of Sold Out. Peace.
Money coming, money go. I've been at it on the low. Trapping out of where I live. I keep seeing the leaders doing this, we talking planes and maybe seeing you.